All right, good morning. Welcome to the 294th District Court. My name is Judge Chris Martin. As I call this morning's docket, please say present or here and raise your hand so I can mark you down. Calvin Kritz. Kenneth Fronterhouse. Hannah Hampton. Carlos Hernandez. Johnny King. Johnny Arthur King. Ronald Polly. Ronald Perry Polly. For the record, CR 2318, Megan Tyler. Mr. Tice Applet has filed a waiver of arraignment that's been approved. A pretrial has been set July 19th. Alejandra Mota, waiver of arraignment granted, pretrial set August 9th. Jamie Hart. Jamie Floyd Hart. Susan Lee. Susan Louise Lee. John Piercefield. Lonnie Richardson. Jasdeep Nat. Jesse Epperson. Ashley Smith. For the record, Caitlin Harden, waiver of arraignment filed, approved, pretrial set July 19th. I think we'll let you get pretrial release papers, but if you want to email those to Brett here, so sure. James Rife. James Clifton Rife. I know that a motion for continuance has been filed by Mr. Hawkins. However, his clients are still required to be here. Royce White. Royce Latate White. Veronica Wortman. All right, Ms. Wortman, your attorney's filed a motion for continuance. The court's granted that. I'm going to reset that for July 7th if you'll come up. Cody, can you give her a reset notice? Veronica Wortman, CR 2319.
Mr. Hawkins has told her about that. We've agreed to dismiss this case. It appears as though she was just a passenger in the vehicle and had no knowledge of the drugs. The two co-defendants are already in prison. She was in prison on separate charges, but not on this.
July 7th.
Discharge.
And I'll hold on to this. Do you need that cause number? W. Phillips. CR.
I've got the cause number.
July 7th for docket call. All right, Ms. Wortman, I'm going to bring you back on July 7th in just a moment. Deputy Phillips is going to have a notice for you. You're going to sign that. You're going to get the yellow copy, and I want you to report to the pretrial release officers. show that you're delinquent on your payments. So I need you to get that copy, check with them, and once they release you, you're free to go. We'll see you back on the 7th, okay? Tammy Caldwell. Eric Hoover. Lenaria Miles. Michael Murphy. Michael David Murphy. Brianna Potteroff, I'm sorry, present. Brittany Turner. Sergio Villarreal. Michael Ward. James Bustamante. Ryan Dancer. Ralph Hanselka. Desiree Harris. Leonard Purley. Leonard Wagner Purley. John Rigney. Nicholas Duberly, waiver of arraignment, filed, granted, pretrial set, June 21st. That's not right. Is that right? Hang on just a second. I showed June 21st, but is that should be July 21st? Okay. So for the record, we need to make sure that that waiver is right on the waiver agreement. July 21st.
That's who released discovery to. We just need to make sure that we have it.
My answer is I don't know. Well, if you're gonna both here, Rochambeau or something, they figure out who's gonna take the money. Guy McSpadden. Terry DeWitt, waiver of arraignment, filed, granted, pretrial set August 9th. Emily Gayton. Christopher Gango. Dalton Thompson. All right, and then Mr. Vasquez Capistrano will be at 9:30, and Ms. Robinson will be at, it's like 11. Is there anyone in the courtroom, and I've not called your name? Your name, sir?
Morris Black.
Morris Black. Do you have an attorney, Mr. Black? So they just followed. I don't have a Morris. Hey, I don't have a Morris Black on my docket. Just one moment, Mr. Black. What's your name, sir?
Leonard
Yes, Mr. Purley, I've already called your name. Anyone else? Your name's not been called? All right, Mr. White, are you ready? Your name, sir?
Yes, sir. Scott Etchen, on behalf of Jasty, that.
Okay.
NET.
Jazz Deep Nat, CR 2272, CR 2284. And you'll come up to that podium right there. If you'll go to that podium right there, that way I can get you on microphone. You can turn that around too. I don't know why that's facing that way. So you face me. All right, Mr. Edgett, Mr. Nat is set for pretrial. Any contested pretrial motions filed in this case?
Your Honor, I believe my office has a motion for continuance that we filed because we're missing 3 pieces of discovery. I'm not sure if that was e-filed yesterday or the first thing this morning. I spoke with the state. We're still missing the DWI blood results, the media and body cam, and the 911 call, which I've been advised that it's at their office, and I'm going to head over there immediately after court to pick it up.
State?
That's my understanding. Here's the recording made.
So we're missing blood evidence,
Yes, the blood
the
results.
results.
That's correct.
What else?
The media and body cam, all media, body cam videos, and 911.
So all you have is offense reports,
That's correct.
all videos and 911.
And my understanding is those have been copied.
I'm going to go pick those up immediately after.
All right, court will reset Mr. Nat for an additional pretrial setting. Mr. Edgett, are you available on either July 19th or 21st?
So Judge, may I pull up my phone?
Yes, please.
Yes, I'm available July 19th, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Nat, court's going to reset you for pretrial on July 19th. That will be at 9 a.m. Once you sign and get this notice of appearance with your attorney, once you get the yellow copy, then you're free to go, sir. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Edgett. What about this court? I see Mr. Ryan. One you marked it very bad. James Drive. Okay. Go back to this video. Mr. White, you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's call them Ms. Gayton.
Emily Gayton. This is CR 22-101-102. Right over there, Ms. Gayton. All right, Ms. Gayton is set for pretrial today.
Your Honor, with this court, so we're set for plea. Can we do it on July 21st?
Yep, July 21st is still good. All right, Ms. Gayton, the court's going to reset you to enter your plea before the court on July 21st. Is that a morning plea or an afternoon plea?
Morning.
Morning plea. All right, that'll be at 9 a.m., Ms. Gayton. Once you sign and get the yellow copy, I need you to check in with your pretrial release officers over here. They'll have more information for you.
Judge, that's July 19th.
21st. You just say 21st, Mr. White, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Ready on anyone else?
Mr. Gingo.
Christopher Gingo, CR 2221. Mr. Waddell, I need Mr. Gingo. I need Mr. Gingo up here. at this podium over here. All right, Mr. Gingo is set for pretrial today.
Your Honor, we're waiting on the lab packet. Some additional information from the title of the lab, I believe. Ms. Heisel informed me that she's been checking on that. I think they're pretty close to getting it to her, so, we can just reset it. I think we've got it on the 19th.
With 19th. All right, court will reset Mr. Gingo for an additional pretrial, July 19th. It'll be at 9 a.m. Once you sign and get the yellow copy, you're free to go, sir. And then go back and finish your discussion with Mr. Waddell if he still needs you, okay? Ready on Dalton Thompson?
Yes, sir.
Dalton Thompson, CR 2250. Mr. Thompson set for docket call.
Your Honor, I've had discussion with Mr. Woodwhack on this. I'm going to ask the court. I think if we have another docket call, I think this will resolve itself.
Yeah, objection from the state.
No, Your Honor, that's true.
All right, court will reset Mr. Thompson. You want the 19th or the 21st?
21st.
All right, Mr. Thompson, court's going to reset you for docket call on July 21st at 9 a.m. Once you get the yellow copy, you're free to go.
Well, Judge, my targets.
I didn't know you were targeted. Appreciate you telling me.
Is that all you, all I got was that?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Elliott, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Jesse Epperson, CR 2296 and 97. Let him get up here so he can hear. All right, Mr. Epperson is set for pretrial.
Yes, sir, and I need to get and review the videos in this case, and I was hoping, I don't believe there's an objection to reset it for the August 9th docket, if it's possible. I will be out in early July, a scheduled vacation. I just want to make sure I have time to review everything and respond appropriately.
All right, court will set Mr. Epperson for docket call on Tuesday, August 9th. That'll be at 9 a.m.
Sir, thank you.
So once you sign and get the yellow copy, you're free to go, Mr. Epperson.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Steve. Mr. Green, are you ready or do you need some time? Ashley Smith, 2021 494 and CR 21 341. All right, Ms. Smith is set for docket call in each case.
Judge, we have been working, trying to find the location of the blood draw. This case, Mr. Woodward and I discovered that it's contained on a body cam or an in-car cam. Then we discovered that the copy, or at least the copy provided to me, doesn't have it on there. It's a blank CD. They're supposed to have it ready for me this morning when I go over there. So I just need some time to pick that up and review it.
You're saying that's the video of the blood draw?
Yes.
Judge, the state was unaware. There was a DVD that, well labeled,
we didn't realize that that's what it was. I thought we had turned it all over. It turns out it's not well labeled. He didn't understand that that's what it's supposed to be on that disc.
So it was two discs. It was behind, it was one behind the other one, and then I found it, and then it doesn't have anything on it.
All right. I've got availability on July 19th or 21st.
Judge, I'm gonna actually be on vacation.
What about earlier? What about July 7th,
That's the day I leave.
July 5th? Other than that, we have to push to August 9th.
Judge, I believe I'm already set. Judge McKee's on the 5th. Gone a week before I'm gone another week, so. Thank you.
August 9th.
That'll be fine, Judge.
All right, Ms. Smith, court's going to set you for docket call on August 9th at 9 a.m. Once you sign and get the yellow copy, you're free to go. Notices for Mr. Hawkins' file.
Oh, no, I didn't talk to you.
Yeah, excuse you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Pull those notices. I'm going to fill a few out here.
Fill them out.
Yeah. I'm ready for that. Do it real quick. Your mouth. All right, Mr. White and Mr. Rife, if you'll both come forward. This is State of Texas versus James Rife, CR 21-307, 308. Both of you gentlemen, just come right up here. Also, this is State versus Royce White, cause number CR 21-398 and 51. Gentlemen, Mr. Hawkins has filed a motion for continuance. Court has granted that. He's not going to be here today. I'm going to reset your cases for July 7th. So Mr. White, I'm going to have you sign here on that X. And Trooper Phillips, I forgot to date that as to today's date. Oh, you got one? You can set it right there on that little ledge. Okay. You'll sign on that little X right there. I'm gonna. You guys are. All right, gentlemen, I want y'all to check with the pretrial release officers, and once they say you're good to go, you're good to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Carlos Hernandez. You'll come forward right over there. All right, Mr. Hernandez, this is cause number CR 22147. Mr. Hernandez, you've been charged by indictment with the state jail felony offense of possession of a controlled substance that does carry a range of punishment if convicted and sentenced to not less than 6 months in prison up to a maximum of 2 years and an optional fine not to exceed $10,000. Mr. Hernandez, I see that you requested a court-appointed attorney. The court's reviewed the financial information you've provided, and you do not fit the criteria to be determined to be indigent. So you have two options. You can represent yourself, which I would advise you against, or you can hire an attorney to represent yourself. If you want to hire an attorney, I can reset your case and give you time to save up a little money and hire an attorney and bring them back with you.
Okay,
What would you like to do?
I'll hire an attorney.
Okay, I'm going to give you about 30 days. I'm going to reset you until July 21st. That would be at 9 a.m. Trooper Phillips, just up there in one of those boxes where you just write possession of controlled substance. And just put state jail felony. That way he meets with an attorney.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, if you'll step over here and sign with Deputy Phillips, we'll give you a copy of that and we'll see you back on. All right, Mr. Hernandez, you're gonna get this yellow copy, and after that, I want you to meet with the pretrial release officers. There's gonna be conditions of pretrial release that you're gonna have to abide by. They're gonna have that information for you, okay? We are ready on Mr. Vasquez. This, Villarez has just joined us. Let me get her set up. Mr. Vasquez Capistrano.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you doing? Good morning, Maria. You doing well?
Excuse me, are you addressing me? I
Yes.
am.
I said good morning. Okay, you doing well?
I am, Your Honor. Good morning. I hope Your Honor is doing well too.
I am.
Thank you.
Go ahead and get you set up here. All right, Ms. Viers, do you want to check with the defendant to make sure that can hear everything?
The interpreter will do so, Your Honor.
And Patty, will you move that computer down so she can actually see his face?
Say. Yes. Okay.
Excellent, thank you. If you'll go ahead and raise your right hand and identify yourself for the record, I'm going to place you under oath. All right, ma'am, do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will make a true translation of the statements of court, the questions of counsel, and the testimony to be given by the witness in the matter now on trial to the best of your skill and judgment, so help you God? All right, thank you. All right, this is cause number CR 22122 and CR 22119, State versus Brian Enrique Vasquez Capistran. And I believe that we are set for pretrial today, Mr. Schmidt.
That's correct, Judge. We are. I'm going to request an additional pretrial setting. Trying to get Mr. Vasquez into my office with an interpreter so that we can go through the evidence. My Spanish is not good enough to communicate with him. I think that we're making progress towards that, but ask for an additional pretrial setting.
The objection from the state? No. All right, there being no objection, are you available on either July 19th or 21st? 19th.
Yes, sir.
All right, court's going to reset Mr. Vasquez for pretrial hearing. You want that to be for pretrial or docket call? Does it matter?
Pretrial is fine, Judge. And is that 9:30 or if you want to do?
Let me check with Ms. D. Villiers and see if what her availability may be, or if any of the interpreters have availability. Yes, ma'am. What's the availability of the interpreters? We're gonna do same at 9:30, or you're gonna do 2 o'clock? 9:30. 9:30, if we can secure that time. Yes, ma'am, you are correct. No, ma'am, I'll let you fight over me however y'all want to. You're very welcome. All right. Anything further, Mr. Schmidt?
Nothing further on this case.
Anything that you need the interpreter to announce to the defendant to help you?
Just to make sure it's clear that this reset notice is for July 19th at 9:30.
Say.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Schmidt, and Mr. Vasquez, you're free to go. Thank you, Maria. I appreciate your help this morning. You may be on straight. Okay, we'll see if we. Okay, great. Thank you. I'll make those adjustments as well. Mr. Schmidt, you've been so instructed.
Of what, Judge?
Yes. Who else are you ready on? Anyone, or do you need more time?
Right.
Everybody? Let's go down the list. James Bustamante, CR 21-9, CR 21-281. All right, Mr. Bustamante set for docket call.
That's correct, Judge. Last couple times I've been here, I've been working with the state to get medical records from the VA for Mr. Bustamante. I can't announce that I do have those now. I have provide those to the state. But I think we're making progress. We'd ask that he be set on additional docket call on that July 19th date.
That's our understanding.
Okay. With the state being in agreement, the court will set Mr. Bustamante for docket call on July 19th. That will be at 9 a.m. Mr. Bustamante, once you get the yellow copy, you're free to go. Ryan Dancer, CR 2263. All right, Mr. Dancer is set for pretrial.
Judge, discussed pretrial matters with Ms.
Heisel.
Faisal, thank you. We have some digital evidence that we haven't been able to view yet. Apparently it's funky format, but we're asking for an additional pretrial for Mr. Dancer.
The objection from the state. All right, court will reset Mr. Dancer for an additional pretrial on July 19th. Is that enough time, Mr. Smith? Okay. July 19th. Mr. Dancer, once you sign and get the yellow copy, you're free to go. Sir. Ralph Hanselka, CR 21-169-170. That's cases are set for docket call.
That's correct, Judge.
You may. All right, court's going to set Mr. Hanselka for an additional docket call on July 19th at 9 a.m. Once you sign and get the yellow copy, you're free to go, sir. Desiree Harris. Over there, Ms. Harris. Cause number CR 2223, set for docket call.
That's correct, Judge. We have had discussions with the state. I think that we're probably about half an inch away from a resolution. We could set it on 7/19 for a docket call. I think we'll probably turn that.
State, any objection?
No, Judge, that's my understanding.
All right, court sets Ms. Harris for an additional docket call on July 19th at 9 AM. Once you sign and get the yellow copy, you're free to go. Ms. Harris, once you get the yellow copy, pretrial release would like to meet with you a
Okay.
little bit before you go. Is Mr. Purley going to be a plea? No, okay. Leonard Purley, CR 21-234. Mr. Purley is set for docket call.
That's correct, Judge. I think at this point, Mr. Purley owes the court some funds as well as the resolution that we agreed to with the state is going to require him to come up with some additional monies. I think all said in total, it's between 500 and 1,000. Mr. Purley has indicated to me that he will have the funds necessary to resolve this within 2 weeks. Addition, once that's done, I believe we expect a dismissal in exchange for the payments, which will close the case out.
State.
That's my understanding.
All right, court will reset Mr. Purley for July 19th, giving more than the 2 weeks needed. Once you sign and get the yellow copy, you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Still have it up there.
got Ms. Chester online. I've got Mr. Dahman online. Lonnie Richardson. Mr. Richardson, I'm bringing your attorney, Mr. Dahman, in. He's appearing via Zoom, so he should be logged in just a second. All right, good morning, Mr. Dahman. Can you see and hear me okay?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. All right, can you see your client? He should be on the left side of the screen. Mr. Richardson, will you raise your hand so Mr. Dahman can see it?
Let's see.
You may have to swipe left or right.
Yes, I see.
Okay, all right. This is cause numbers CR 21404 and 405, State of Texas versus Lonnie Jean Richardson. We are set for docket call in each case. Any announcement, Mr. Dahman?
We're withholding announcement at this time, Your Honor. I have confirmed receipt of all the discovery and reviewed it. My client is coming into the office later today to review the discovery with me and discuss the case. Unfortunately, it appears as if the state and I are still a bit of ways away on plea negotiations.
All right, just one moment. Let me review the case. All right, state this. I show that this is the first setting for docket call for Mr. Richardson in each case. Any objection to his request for more time?
No, Your Honor, I would also note for the record that Mr. Richardson previously also had Ms. Beasley.
Can you turn your microphone? Because he's probably not hearing what you're saying.
I would also note that Mr. Richardson previously had Ms. Beasley, so there was a transition between attorneys. State has no objection to additional docket call at this time.
All right, Mr. Dahman, are you available on either July 19th or 21st?
Let me take a look real quick, Your Honor.
And we can do earlier as well, July 7th.
Either of those dates is just fine with me, Your Honor. The 19th or the 21st.
All right, court will set Mr. Richardson for July 21st in each case for docket call. Mr. Richardson, we're going to have you sign this notice of appearance, give you the yellow copy, and then you'll be free to go. Okay.
That was July 21st, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. July 21st at 9 a.m.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Dahman, do you have anything else on today's docket?
I don't believe so, not at this time.
All right, thank you, sir. You may be excused.
Thank you, Judge. You have a good day.
You too. You're welcome, sir. John Rigney, CR 2307. Mr. Rigney is set for docket call today, Mr. Schmidt.
That's correct, Judge. As was related to the bench, we're going to ask for an additional docket call, get Mr. Rigney back on track. In addition to that, so I'd ask for that July 19th date.
All right, court will reset Mr. Rigney for docket call on July 19th at 9 a.m. Mr. Rigney, once you sign and get the yellow copy, then the court is going to have the warrant that's out for your arrest right now executed. And the court will reinstate the bail amount at $50,000. So I'm not reinstating that bail, but I'm going to lower the bail, rather, I should say, to 50,000 from the 100. I would look, but for whatever reason, I can't access mine. Mr. Schmidt, I think you are talking here. Sir, just go ahead and have a seat there in the back, and he'll be with you in just a second. Hannah Hampton, CR 2390. All right, Ms. Hampton, you're on today's docket for an unsuccessful discharge from the pretrial intervention program. Are you going to hire an attorney to continue representing you in this case?
Yes, sir. I have some papers from my attorney to give to you as a copy.
Would you grab this one? Paperwork, Ms. Hampton. All right, we'll reset Ms. Hampton to July 21st. That will be at 9 a.m. You need that cause number. She's on the front page, CR 2390. She's the third one down.
Sure.
If the court needs a copy, I made those for y'all if y'all need it to keep. Oh,
Copy of that.
Why one copy?
Because Patty needed a copy.
No, because he's not the attorney.
I know. She asked.
Yeah, no.
Defendant asked.
So, Ms. Hampton, in just a moment, we're going to have you sign this notice of appearance, and then you'll be free to go. But I want you to, have you already checked with Ms. Hampton this morning? Has she checked in with you? After that, I want you to check in with Mr. Waddell. Miss Hampton, I'm gonna place you back on conditions of pretrial release. Okay, so once you sign and get that, then I want you to meet with the officers here. Kenneth Fronterhouse, CR 22133.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fronterhouse, if you'll take the sunglasses off your head, please. All right, this is cause number CR 22133. Mr. Fronterhouse, you've been charged, today's arraignment, you've been charged with prohibited substance or item in a correctional facility. That is a third-degree felony, does carry a range of punishment of not less than 2 years or more than 10 years confinement in prison and an optional fine not more than $10,000. Court finds that you have requested a court-appointed attorney. The court's reviewed your information, finds you to be indigent at this time, and has appointed the Honorable Richard Schmidt to represent you. Mr. Schmidt, are you ready to proceed on arraignment?
We are, Judge. I received a copy of the indictment. Went over that with Mr. Fronterhouse. His name is spelled correctly, understands his charge. Wait for reading after the matter be set for a pretrial hearing.
719. Court sets Mr. Fronterhouse for pretrial on July 19th at 9 a.m. Court will enter his plea of not guilty into the record. Mr. Fronterhouse, you're going to be placed on conditions of pretrial release. All right, so that means that the bail that you posted in this case is going to be conditioned upon you following the terms and conditions of release, which means you're going to have to report, you're going to have to pay towards your court-appointed attorney, you're going to have to pay towards your bond supervision, be drug tested, all these things. So once you get the yellow copy, come over here and meet with these officers, and they'll give you more information. You may.
I think that's all I had this morning. I had a bunch of stuff this afternoon.
That's not
Fantastic.
Does that say cash? Sure. Yes.
Good. We'll soon we're finished.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Kritz, when I reset your case to give you time to hire an attorney, who did you hire?
I'm trying to hire him in there, but I'm trying to get the money up for it first.
Well, how much money have you saved up? How much do you got?
$400.
How much do you need?
He wants 1,700 down, $30,000.
So you got a long way to go.
Yes, sir.
So what's your plan?
Got everything I got up for sale, whatever I got, trying to get it.
So you've got you've saved up $400. What did I give you, about 30 days?
Yes, sir.
You only got $400 up in 30 days?
I'm disabled. I don't work.
So what do you want me to do, Mr. Kritz?
Extend it out further. if possible.
If I give you another 30 days, can you get it done?
Yeah, we should have it.
You will have it?
Yes, sir.
You'll get it done?
Yes, sir. I will.
You understand that if I reset it and you come in and you don't have an attorney hired, then court may revoke your bail and just put you back in jail.
Yes, sir.
Understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna reset you to July 19th. That's gonna be for arraignment and to hire an attorney. So time is of the essence. It's crunch time. You're gonna have to get it done.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hang on, hang on, whoa. I have to have you sign.
Oh, okay.
That way when you don't show up, if you don't show up, then I can revoke your bills. Hang on just a second.
I will show up.
Just put arraignment and then other to hire attorney. Or you can just always write it in that box. Yeah, that's usually what I do to hire attorney. It's gonna be July 19th. 19th. Is Johnny Keene here? Johnny Keene, Johnny Arthur Keene. Going once, going twice. Warrant for arrest. What about Ronald Polly? Ronald Polly? Jamie Hart? Jamie Hart? Susan Lee? John Piercefield, you'll come forward, John. All right, this is cause number CR 2275, State versus John Daniel Piercefield. Yeah, that's correct. All right, Miss Chester, we're set for docket call today. Can you see Mr. Piercefield? I've got him on the other side of the courtroom today. So.
Yes, Judge, I can see him. Mr. Piercefield was able to come into my office to review discovery. There's been a couple of questions that require a little bit of investigation and speaking with the DA. So we're asking for one more docket call this morning. I don't know if the court has docket call on the 21st. That's when we set the ones yesterday. So we would be ready probably by the 21st with an answer on whether or not Mr. Piercefield would want to go to trial or do a plea.
Okay. All right. Court will reset Mr. Piercefield for an additional docket call on July 21st. That will be at 9 a.m. Mr. Piercefield, once you sign and get the yellow copy, and we'll bring that to you. Once you sign and get the yellow copy, then you're free to go. Is that all you have today, Ms. Chester?
Yes, yes, Judge, it is.
You have anything this afternoon?
Not that I saw.
I've got some people I can give to you if you want. or you can pass. I'll let you pass today if you want to pass.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Chester. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you, Judge.
Have a good day. Morning, Mr. Stevens.
Morning, Judge.
Are you ready on anyone?
Yes, sir, Mr. McSpadden.
Mr. McSpadden, if you'll come forward, sir. All right, this is cause number CR 2236. Mr. McSpadden, set for docket call.
Yes, sir, except for docket call, I haven't had an opportunity to go over all the evidence with my client. There's a pending CPS case that he's diligently working services. He's got some records he wants to show me from that I want to share with the state and see if we can't reach a resolution. He's in some counseling and things like that with his children right now. We're requesting one more docket call so that he can bring some text messages and things from CPS to me. I can share those with the state and see if we can't come to a resolution.
State.
Your Honor, I have no objection because I do know there is a CPS case. I just want to make the court aware that the discs that it appears they've been in our office since April, and I don't really scrap those days when we leave and we reset from CPS.
Those are videos of what? Body cams, things of that nature.
Yes, Your Honor, there's some photos of the scenes and body cameras, and there is also a cat that have to be watched at all.
All right, court will set Mr. McSpadden for a final docket call. Are you available on July 21st, Mr. Stevens?
I do have a docket in the morning in Henderson County. If the court doesn't mind, I can appear there and then be over here later that morning. Unless the court has another date that they prefer.
How are you on the 19th? I'm getting kind of full on the 19th, but I may have room for one more if that's better.
I'm completely open on the 19th, so I can be here.
All right, we'll set it for July 19th for docket call. That'd be our final docket call. Mr. McSpadden, once you sign and get the yellow copy, you're free to go.
So thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So, Mr. Ashmore's clients are up here. Jonathan outside of it. Looks like there's months left. Sure.
All right.
All right, course goes into recess for 30 minutes. We'll resume at 10:45. So, Mr. Meeting's clients, Tammy Caldwell, Derek Hoover, Aaron Miles, Mark Murphy here. Is that you? You, Mark Murphy? Brianna Potterworth, Ricky Turner, Sergio Villarreal, and Michael Ford. Mr. Meany is still required, downstairs. Get out of that, so what I'm gonna do is order everyone to come back at just 1 o'clock. Okay, so it's 11, not 11:30 yet, so we were waiting, hoping that you'd be able to finish up and get you done before noon, get you on your way, but that doesn't look like it's gonna happen, so I'm gonna keep you here till 12. So be back up here at 1 o'clock. Should be- So, that's all for me, you're free to go, see you back at 1 o'clock. All right, we are back on the record. For record purposes, cause number CR 2242, State of Texas versus Ronald Perry Polly. Court had him set today for arraignment and to hire an attorney. It's come to our attention that Mr. Manning was retained on that case, and he has submitted a waiver of arraignment, and the court's going to accept that waiver, and pretrial is set August 11th at 9 a.m. So he will not be eyesight today. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Sanders. Well, we're not afternoon yet. I'm going to recall this case in 23 minutes. All right, this is cause number CR 21367, State of Texas versus Charlotte Robinson. We are set for plea today. Ms. Robinson, if you'll raise your right hand, I'm going to place you on your oath. Ma'am, do you swear that the testimony you give to the court today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you may put your hand down. Your name is Charlotte May Robinson, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Robinson, are you a United States citizen?
I am.
And do you read, write, and speak English?
Yes, sir.
And have you ever been diagnosed with any type of mental condition?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
What have you been diagnosed with?
Bipolar 1, extreme mania, clinical depression, anxiety and PTSD, audio hallucinations, schizophrenia, and I think that's it. I think that's it, Your Honor. I think I covered everything.
Are you currently on medication or undergoing treatment for any of those?
Yes, sir. All of it.
All of it, good.
Yes, sir.
And you're on your medication today?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like today you have a rational understanding and rational thought so that you know what's going on in this
Yes, Your
proceeding
Honor, I
today? All right, and Mr. Sanders is your attorney. Are you pleased with his representation of you?
I am. Thank you.
Do you feel like you've had enough time to discuss your case with him, have all of your legal questions answered?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything about this paperwork that you've read and signed today that you do not understand?
No, you're right.
Okay, and I've noticed that you're quite emotional. What's the reason for that?
I'm in my recovery. I'm pretty diligent in my recovery, but I'm still feeling the emotions that I've hid for so long. And I'm just upset at myself, Your Honor. The bad choices I made. I'm highly grateful, but I'm scared, I guess. I have a little fear.
And what's your fear?
The money.
What
I
about?
am, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I am currently on disability, been on disability since 2010. I take home $732 a month. I don't get food stamps. Trying. Everything that's going up in the world, trying to gain transportation, even if I can get a golf cart. But sorry.
That was, I think, the big statement when we were going through the probation condition, looking at the breakdown of the fine, court costs, reimbursement, attorney's fees.
Yes.
I think that's when things kind of change. So just realize that the financial burden.
Yes, sir.
Well, Ms. Robinson, do you believe that you can comply with conditions of community supervision if given the opportunity?
Other than the fines? Are you asking other than everything else other than the fines?
No, not other than everything. Everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. I will.
Well, before we go any further, I want to make sure that you don't believe you're setting yourself up for failure.
No, Your Honor. I'm actually, on a positive note, this might sound weird, but I'm actually looking forward to working with. I've been on probation before for a period of 5 years, and it helped me. I was found indigent, so I didn't really pay all the costs that I recall. But it helped me, and I know my probation officer saved my life for a period of that time. And I've learned a lot, and I've been able to actually implement, excuse me, that in my recovery now. And the money just scares me because I don't want, Texas scares me, but I came out here to change my life. Yes, I can do this.
And Judge, we did talk about the possibility of just agreeing to a minimum 6 months state jail time just to sit that out. But I think from everything we talked about, that she wants to do the probation. And I think she will make the probation. I know that the money is the concern, but I think the court knows that she went to Nexus and completed that 30-day program a few months back, and she's been getting help, been getting treatment, counseling, and it's got a job, and so she's getting things in order with her life. I think it's just, I think that's been the big worry.
I love my life right now. I have rules. I live in a sober living home, and I'm up for house manager, which is the title. So I do have, I have psychiatry and counseling through UT, behavioral health and substance abuse right now. And I'm just really busy. So the money's scared. I don't know. I don't want to fail. I'm early, sorry.
Well, Ms. Robinson, if I approve the plea agreement today, you're going to have money obligations.
Yes, Your Honor.
But I know this to be a fact. I can't recall any time I've revoked an individual on probation just because they didn't pay their money. And so as long as someone is making a bona fide attempt to do what they're supposed to do and pay what they can pay, then I know the probation officers always work with the probationers. And I've never had a motion to revoke where the only thing is they didn't pay and there'd not be a reason for that. So as long as you go in with the effort to try to pay everything that you can to be diligent and remain reporting and comply with all other conditions, as long as you're making an effort to do that, the probation department's going to work with you and they will be your biggest advocate to the court. All right?
Yes.
So,
yes, sir.
So money, as long as if you have a disability and you're limited on that, then you need to disclose all those things to your probation officer so that they're aware.
Yes.
So that they can use that in their decision making on if you come to the end of your probationary period and you haven't paid everything, they can make a determination on, do we extend you? Do we, give you another 6 months, another year on probation just so you can pay off? All of those things will come into consideration. So understanding that, does that ease some of your fear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, if it's not showing up, not reporting, testing positive, not doing your community service, any of those other things, then that's going to be a problem.
I understand. I'm not concerned with any of that. Just the money part. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So, Ms. Robinson, it's my duty to inform you that you have been charged with a state jail felony offense of possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. If convicted and sentenced, the range of punishment would be between the minimum 6 months to the maximum 2 years in prison and an optional fine not to exceed $10,000. I see the plea agreement in your case is that you would plead guilty to that charge. The state recommends that you be convicted of that crime, that your sentence be assessed here today at 12 months confinement in state jail, and they're recommending that that sentence be suspended and you be placed on community supervision or probation for 3 years, and you be ordered to pay a $1,500 fine, $180 restitution, $290 court cost, and $555 reimbursement fees to Van Zandt County. Understanding the plea agreement in this case, understanding the range of punishment, do you still wish to go forward with your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to that crime?
I plead guilty.
Are you pleading guilty to that crime because you are guilty of committing that crime and for no other reason?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone threatened, forced, or pressured you to plead guilty today?
No.
The court will accept the defendant's plea of guilt. Mr. Sanders, any objection to the state's evidence?
No.
State's evidence is admitted and the court does take judicial notice of the defendant's judicial confession. Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
From the defense? I'm going to review the evidence briefly. All right, court has reviewed the evidence, and I do find enough evidence to convict Ms. Robinson of this crime. Court will follow the plea agreement in this case. Court hereby convicts Charlotte A. Robinson of possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 1 less than 1 gram. Court will follow the plea agreement in this case. Court hereby assesses punishment at 12 months confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice State Jail Division. Court will suspend that sentence and place her on community supervision for 3 years. Order her to pay a $1,500 fine, $180 restitution, $555 reimbursement fees, and $290 court costs. Ms. Robinson, you're hereby remanded to the custody of the Van Zandt County Community Supervision and Corrections Department so they carry out the terms and conditions of the sentence. I'm going to have you step forward here to be fingerprinted with Deputy McLeish. And then after that time, report to the probation officers over here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
All right, court's going to stand in recess. We will resume at 1 p.m. for the remainder of the morning docket with Mr. Manning, and then we will move to 1:30 for the jail. Thank you. What do I? Mr. Sanders, you have afternoon docket.